But truth be told, ask most of these entrepreneurs who are, we've got 10 shops, 15 shops, 25 shops, to say, are you enjoying businesses in all these other shops? But when you see yourself opening 3 branches, and these 3 branches at 12 o'clock, they're actually running out of chicken, they're actually running out of chips, you're making a mistake. You rather concentrate on that one branch. Hello guys, this is the Chartered Vendor Podcast. My name is Jerry Zungu. How are you doing? How is Africa? How is everything? Are you killing it in business? Are you killing it in entrepreneurship? Are you selling more? You cannot make money without selling. You cannot make it in life without selling. Even Jesus Christ of Nazareth was actually selling. If those who are Muslims, even Muhammad was actually selling. For most of the people to believe in Islam, for people to believe in Christianity. But today I've got a certain topic and I want to talk about scaling. It's part of my book, Why African Businesses Die Young. This is a book which you must get. Why? Because it's telling you about my experience in business consultants. I've worked with quite a number of companies. I've made mistakes myself, and I've noticed how businesses are actually failing in Africa. But before I get into that, if you also notice, most of the businesses, the mistake which I'm going to talk about today is when exactly are you supposed to scale? When exactly are you supposed to open another branch? When exactly are you supposed to think about expansion? That's the $1 million question I'm going to talk about today. I've discussed it on length in this book, Why African Businesses Die Young. And it's there. You must get the book. It's the biggest thing to happen in Africa right now. It's a manual which will help you out to build your business. But before I jump into that, I want us guys to subscribe this channel. 69.4% of the people who are watching are not subscribing. I know that, yes, there are plenty of people who are watching. More than thousands and thousands of people are watching, but they're not subscribing. Please help us by subscribing to the channel. So, here is what I'm going to talk about. So, I've noticed that I'll give 2 examples of companies, or rather schools, which I've worked with. And these schools are situated in Zimbabwe. And I'm going to give you an example of one of the school which actually is doing very, very well. I'm not going to mention it by name, but probably you're going to recognize it after describing what's happening at the school. So this school is based, they've got 1 campus, and they've got from ECD up to A level. They've got a boarding facility. They've got buses all over the town. These buses are actually ferrying students to the school. And if you look at the school, if you get at the school, it's green. The lawn is green. The school is well maintained. There's security at the school. There's everything which you can think of. It's a modern school. There's a swimming pool, grounds. Everything is there. This is a top notch. Even if you get into the admin offices, everything is organized. Everything is on top. But this school, they don't have any branch. They just have 1 center. And guess what? They're actually killing it. They're making millions and millions of dollars from that 1 center. And the owner of the school also is the one who is actually handling things, is the CEO of the school. Everything is on point. Complaints are addressed as soon as things are actually happening. When things are bad, the management, the owner of the school, the CEO of the school jumps in to correct. That guy also, I've worked with him closely. He responds to every call, every message. He tries to do to contact every parent, to listen to everyone who wants to speak to him. That's scenario number 1. Then I have scenario number 2. This is a school which also started the same year with the school which I've indicated on scenario 1. But boom, first year they had 1 campus. Second year they had 2 other campuses. The other year, they now had about 5 campuses. They now have about 7 campuses as we speak. But look at what is now happening in that school. All these schools are suffering in terms of resources. They don't have enough resources. They don't have, if you go to the school, if you visit the schools, the lawn is brown. Some of the desks, sometimes you have to actually test before you sit because you can actually fall. And some of the campuses, they don't even have securities, but some they have. The security guards are not also even well dressed. Sometimes the teachers, they don't have sufficient resources. They still use chalkboards. They are still using chalks as compared to that other school, which is actually using interactive boards. If you also look at it, it's not well furnished. If you look at the grounds, some of the grounds are actually ignored. So here is the catch. So these schools, they started in the same year. The other one now has 7 campuses and a lot of students. But they now have a lot of students, but they also now have a high turnover in terms of students and teachers. Why? Because the cake is now too big. And they are now failing to resource each and every campus to compete with the school which we have indicated in scenario number 1, which we can call School A. So School A has got 1 campus. School B has got 7 campuses. But they started the same year. But the other guy had hunger to expand. But whilst they were actually expanding, they were diluting or they were actually suffocating the resources in terms of expertise, in terms of monitoring, in terms of management, in terms of administration, in terms of even logistics. School in scenario number 1, School A, has got several buses which are ferrying students from each and every corner of Harare. But the other school doesn't even have buses because they cannot afford. Why? They now have plenty of campuses, which also requires management. There are usually complaints when it comes even to maintaining their dining halls. Because why? Students who are in boarding, they're actually suffering because they don't have sufficient food. So my question is, this is just an example. My question is, when exactly are you supposed to scale when you want to grow your business? So most of us entrepreneurs, we make a mistake where we think that, I've also noticed that I want to stand, when I'm standing, when I'm addressing you, I want to say, I'm actually running 23 branches. I have 500 employees. You see, when I'm speaking to my churchmates, they can actually feel that this guy is killing it. This guy is making it. But to the contrary, out of those 23 branches, probably only 2 are actually making profits. The 21 branches, they are all headaches. It's not only in the schools. I've also noticed even in motor spares, you actually look at, I noticed that some branches, they can actually put 3 branches in one street. 3 branches which are competing amongst each other for customers. But it's all about numbers. It's all about, I want to appear as if I'm big. Have you invested so much into your business, but you're not getting your desired sales? Or you ask yourself whether you're selling the wrong products or services. Maybe you even blame your sales team for not bringing in the money. If your answer to these questions is yes, then you need to revise your sales approach. Selling Like a Vendor is a book that can give you answers to why you have not been making the sales. You can use this book as an individual or for your sales team as a manual on how to make sales. The book has strategies on how to get clients, how to talk to customers, how to negotiate and close the deals, and even how to upsell or cross-sell. This is an investment that can solve all your sales problems. You can order your own copy using the details shown on the screen. Remember, everyone is in sales and sales is for everyone.
Baba said I should take over the company. I was running things with him all this while we were studying abroad.
But I'm also his child and I helped find right the new branch in Gweru. I deserve my share.
Deserve? There is no will that said that you get any management rights.
And there is no trust structure, just whispers and promises. Now what?
Say, you've built a great company. If something happens to you, do you want your children fighting over it?
Well, they know I love them equally. They will figure it out.
Love isn't a plan, Baba Mavunga. A family trust is.
We are tearing each other apart, and the workers are caught up in the middle.
If only Baba had set up a trust. Clear roles, clear shares, no guessing.
Family businesses are meant to build legacies, not fuel wars. A family trust can protect the company, define inheritance and management rights, prevent costly court battles, preserve unity after death. Don't wait until it's too late. Create a family trust. M&J, building timeless businesses.
But truth be told, ask most of these entrepreneurs we've got 10 shops, 15 shops, 25 shops to say, are you enjoying businesses in all these other shops? But to the contrary, they want to keep all these branches open because it's prestigious. They want to get awards. I'll talk about awards in another podcast, but for now, let us concentrate on the topic which is on the table. So the question is, how and when should you scale? So, first resource your first branch. Make sure it's got everything in terms of human resources. In terms of the human resources, do they have all the required resources which is needed by a company to operate? Do they have equipment? If you want to set up probably studios, do they have sufficient cameras? Do they have everything which is required? It's not only about looking for the market, it's about looking at the resources themselves. And when you also do that, make sure that you have beautified this place. This place, you know that without you or with you, the business can continue to grow. Because the other question is, when you're going to open another branch, you are no longer there. You are now dividing attention. But sometimes you notice that you are better off with that one institute or that one organization or that one branch which you can actually pay attention to. Because the moment you put out, you bring another branch, you are now dividing resources. And it's not only about the market guys. Customers can be there, but it's not the right time to expand to that company. And another thing, build systems. When I'm saying a system, do your employees, do the people at that branch, do they now know what to do without probably your contribution? Can the company actually operate without your involvement? Does everyone knows what to do at any given time? We are setting standards. We are setting what is actually required in a certain branch. When this branch now is sufficiently resourced, you're now moving to the next branch. It now has a system. I like giving an example of a company called Chicken Inn. You look at it, there's an organized system when you get into Chicken Inn. When you get into KFC, there's an organized system. And they've got all the resources, everything which is required in the branch is there. There's a point of sale which is working. There's sufficient stock which is out there. Chicken, chips, everything is there. But when you see yourself opening 3 branches, and these 3 branches at 12 o'clock, they're actually running out of chicken. They're actually running out of chips. You're making a mistake. You rather concentrate on that one branch. And make sure that that branch is resourced. That branch has got all the human resources which is actually required. It is well equipped in terms of technology. It's well equipped in terms of everything. That's when you move to the other branch. So don't make that mistake. This is the word of the day which I want to give you. Please, when you want to scale, you want to get into Zambia, remember also, through our business consultants, M&J, we can now set up businesses in Zambia, Zimbabwe, the rest of Africa. We can now set up business in DRC, Egypt. We can help you to set up businesses in Botswana. We are saying as a business, it's required to expand. One of my mentors, shout out to Mr. Philip Mataranyika, he actually said to me, if you are building a business, make sure that it has got numbers. You are targeting a lot of numbers. So if you're concentrating only on 17 million people in Zambia and 17 million people in Zimbabwe, it's hard to make it. But if you can start thinking of 1.4 billion people in Africa, that's when your business will grow. It's easy for you to actually also be a millionaire. Even those who want to be billionaires, it's not a crime, but it's easy when you've got numbers. I learned that from my mentor. I learned that from the guy who actually helped me when I was also starting in business, and I always look up to him. Sometimes I don't have time to actually meet him because he's a busy man, but I learned from what he is saying, what he is posting. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Learn the time to expand. Yes, you need to expand your business, but you need to do that in the right time. You don't want to create a branch in Zimbabwe whilst you're actually suffocating resources in Zambia. So learn. Open your eyes, guys. Make sure that we grow the business. We need to build these businesses, and we can build business. So when I'm even also writing my books, I'm no longer writing for Zimbabwe. I'm no longer writing for Zambia. I'm writing for Egypt. I'm writing for Togo. I'm writing for Ethiopia. I'm writing for Rwanda. I'm writing for Kenya, because I want to expand. I want my books. I want to be known by 1.4 billion people here on earth, here on Mother Africa. So remember, guys, the time to expand. Remember the right time. Remember that you need resources. You need to do your research. You need to actually see if the systems are now ready to be stretched. So thank you, guys. Thank you for the opportunity. But remember to destroy that button. Subscribe, comment, have a conversation with us. Let us talk about business. Let us talk about entrepreneurship. Until it's next time, it's Jerry Monya Zungu, the Southern out.